How's it going, guys? Roy Robles here from ZigWheels.ph, and we are back with another POV drive review. So, sometimes we've already reviewed a car in the past, but I would like to give a certain or a different point of view, literally, for that particular drive, for the particular car. And in this case here, my guy Kent already did a walk-around review of the BYD Seal 5 DMI that we've done here, but that's for the premium variant. This one right here is the Dynamic. A Dynamic variant features pretty much the same amenities as the premium variant, but cheaper, and a couple of other stuff that's been omitted, but basically the same car. So the same steering wheel, leather wrapped. It's got cruise control. Got this nice, nifty rotating screen right here, a hallmark of all BYD cars. You got single zone automatic climate control, while the premium one has dual zone. You lose the panoramic sunroof, or should I say the sunroof. This one doesn't have the sunroof, but everything stays the same. You got 6 speakers instead of 8, and you don't have any 360-degree camera system. So part of the reason why I'm excited to review this particular variant of the BYD Seal 5 is, well, the price. Pricing for the BYD Seal 5 DMI, this one here, are over 950,000 pesos, while the DMI, or should I say, the DMI premium variant goes for 1,118,000, or should I say 1,180,000 pesos. And that's a major price difference between them. So let's talk about this one here. The BYD Seal 5 DMI Dynamic variant. It's definitely something that you should consider, because this interior right here is just boss. I've always said that the Ocean series of BYD cars has been quite the oddball when it comes to their interior design, especially when compared to more modern cars. It's trying its best to force the issue, especially with the BYD Atto 3. I mean, it's a nice, interesting interior, but it's definitely just not for me. But this one here, just look how simple the lines are. It still maintains a lot of the Ocean series that they say, but it's now in black. Therefore, it gets to hide some of its quirkiness. Or should I say, accentuate and improve more on that, because it's all black. I like this interior. I like how the dashboard is sculpted in a way that looks sporty. I never thought that the Ocean series design is actually sporty in black. The dashboard on top is made of the soft touch material. Barely soft touch. Got some stitching right there. And the seats bathe in this white and dark colors here. I'm not going to be a fan of that like 5 years from now, but just make sure that you keep it clean. They're made of this perforated leather material. And that's it. In the middle, you'll find your electronic shifter here. Park, just click on this button right in the middle, R and D. And you got your buttons here, your start-stop button. Now here, the BYD Seal 5 DMI, it's a plug-in hybrid, so you can actually run on purely electric or hybrid mode. So if you got enough charge here, in this case we got some 26% right there. It needs to charge up a little bit, but you can run on full EV for about 50 kilometers for the Dynamic variant. The premium variant can go up to 115 kilometers, but the point is, no matter what BYD Seal 5 DMI you get, you still get up to 1,115 kilometers worth of range. More than 1,000 kilometers worth of range. A couple of more interesting details right here. There's your automatic climate control button, your drive mode selector, up, down, up, down. It's going to change it right there. Sport, Eco, and Normal. An NFC card here. So both the Seal 5 DMI Dynamic and Premium variant get the NFC cards. So if you want to use that, you could just, I don't have the DMI, I don't have the card with me right now. So there's the NFC badge right there. If you got the NFC card, you don't have to bring your key around. Just bring it along with your, in your wallet. You're good to go. And there it is. That's the BYD Seal 5 DMI in all its glory. Can you see it? It's dark. I can see it. And from the camera here, I think I can see it more clearly in the camera. It's one handsome looking car, I'd say. It's not sporty. Definitely not, doesn't look sporty at all. It looks more elegant sporty. Nice leading lines with these LED DRLs. These are DRLs, by the way. You got dual projector LED headlamps. You won't find any fog lamps right here because of how the lamps are designed. You got the BYD badge, beautiful, and a partition for a front camera, which this one does not have because it's the one found in the premium variant. I like how the front grille looks this way. You got these horizontal slats moving back and forth here, and more of the Ocean Series design. This looks like a fishtail right here. I like how it looks. Right here on the side, you've got 16-inch alloy wheels. The premium variant does get 17-inch alloy wheels, but here's a caveat. Although the 17-inchers are bigger in size, they're thinner tires. This one's here run on 225 R16s. It's 225 60 R16 tires. So the first thing that I'll always say that you modify in a car are the tires, because they have the contact. They're the ones that actually touch the road. So the wider your tire track is, theoretically and actually, better performance. I love this look, by the way. Despite the fact that you're getting an entry-level sedan right here, this nice unencumbered line in the back just screams future. Oh wow. And some other electric brands think they're all that. This one here, oh, they got it. They got it. The BYD badge right here. Thankfully, BYD. Not the Build Your Dreams badge, the BYD, that's it. Sorry guys. It's early in the morning, but I want to show you this car and do a night drive because, you know, less traffic. Also at the same time, I think it looks pretty cool. As you can see, in the dark. This is one big car. I mean, some people, upon first look, would probably compare it to a subcompact sedan, but truth be told, with its dimensions, it's more akin to a compact. The reason behind that is that it actually looks smaller than it actually is. And to be honest, this is probably all the car that you'll be needing. You got a lot of space inside. Let's open up here. See, you got dome light, so you can actually see everything in the inside. You got 2 AC vents and 2 USB ports right there, and a cubby hole. Fairly flat floor. There's just a little bit of bump there. It's no problem. And I can fit inside quite nicely. Oh, it gets too dark. But look at this interior. Isn't it nice? It's just so simple looking. Doesn't look like a it doesn't look like a far too ostentatious electric car. I guess this one here, this one is what you're looking for your transition to electric from ICE. So right. A few things that I want to discuss about this here is that right underneath there you get a some holes right there on the side, arrow holes. I'm not sure what that is cooling Probably the brakes here. By the way, you got 4-wheel disc brakes. All right. All right. While the front end is definitely something that I love here about the BYD Seal 5 DMI, it really is the rear end that takes the cake for me. I mean, look at that. That's so Tron-like. Again, and other electric car companies think they are all that. When this is definitely the boss when it comes to savings, value, electric, and I love this. All right, let's take this out for a spin, and I want to tell you more about how the BYD Seal 5 DMI works out, and if you really need to get the top of the line variant. Do you? Well, if you want to, but let's go. All right, so we're now behind the wheel of the BYD Seal 5 DMI. This is the dynamic variant, which means it's the entry-level variant compared to the top-of-the-line premium one. The differences between this and the top-of-the-line variant is that, it has a smaller 8 kilowatt-hour battery compared to the 18 kilowatt-hours on the premium variant, which means it's got less horsepower, less torque. This one has 179 horsepower, 315 torque, while the bigger premium one, the one that my guy Kent did a quick view of, is it has more horsepower, almost 200 horsepower, 350, 325 torques. Now this can go from 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds, while the premium right around shaves a little, well, a few milliseconds off that, just above 7 seconds. A few more differences between this and the premium variant is that, well, it doesn't have vehicle to load feature. So if you want to charge your devices while going out using the BYD Seal 5 DMI's battery, you won't be able to do so. But you can do that on the premium variant. This one though, no, because it has a smaller battery. It's more than half the size of the premiums. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna say that for daily driving, for using your car as a car per se, this just might be a better value. This might be the electric car that you're looking for, and I'm gonna tell you why. First off, the drive, it's just so buttery smooth. I mean, it still has the same electric pull. Now, if you're not used to the electric power, you're definitely going to be a little surprised with it. Oh, by the way, I started the drive off. Before we get to that, I started the drive off with 26% left in the battery tank. I'm going to answer the question: do you absolutely have to charge or plug in your plug-in? And that question is usually asked because we all know that the amount of charging facilities around the country isn't that robust just yet, and people are fighting over the last few charging stations as more and more electric cars hit the streets. And in my opinion, if you're driving a plug-in hybrid, it's not going to be as more of an emergency as an actual full electric vehicle would, because you do have the gasoline engine working for you as well. So that's going to charge your battery. You could probably charge at home, but as charging etiquette goes, I would probably be I don't have to use a charger. So you guys are asking, that stoplight is actually broken, so we're gonna go ahead. And the power is just whoosh. And I'm on eco mode. There are 3 drive modes here. There's eco, sport, and normal. And I'm telling you what, this is the first car that I'm actually driving that I set everything to comfort. So we got eco mode on, steering mode set to comfort, and braking mode set to comfort as well. because you can select a setting there where your steering and braking can be set to sport, but oh boy, the steering gets really heavy and the braking gets so abrupt, almost like an on and off button. So I'm gonna set it up to comfort right here, make it an easier drive, because that's what these cars are made for anyway. They're made to be as smooth, as efficient, and as hassle-free as possible. It just so happens that it has 315 Newton meters of torque and almost 180 horsepower to work with. It can go from 0 to 100 in 8 seconds. It's just a nice side effect. So anyway, back to my earlier point. Why is the Seal 5 DMI Dynamic variant probably a better buy than the Seal 5 DMI Premium variant? First of all, you pretty much get almost the same power. Trust me, the difference between 315, 330, 325 isn't that much. And the difference between the horsepower, 180 to 195, really isn't that much as well. Probably the only big advantage that you get from the Seal 5 DMI Premium variant over this one is that it got more range. So, with driving pure electric, because of the bigger battery, you can go up to 115 kilometers on a single charge. Well, technically on a single charge, 100%, using full EV mode. More on that later. And this one, you could go up to 50 kilometers on a single charge. But again, this is a plug-in hybrid. Driving full electric is just a nice thing to have. It's a nice side effect of the type of drivetrain that you're riding. So what you're going to look at is the range. When I first got this Seal 5 DMI car, I had around 1,120 kilometers left in the tank, or should I say range. And I've been driving this almost every day. I traveled almost 200 kilometers now. And right now it says I still have a range of 926 kilometers. So I actually beat the earlier range estimation by a few factors of 2 times. So if you drive your plug-in hybrid normally, like every day, if you don't abuse the electric mode, EV mode, you don't do sport mode all the time, you can actually make your Seal 5 DMI last for more than a month and a half before you meet your local friendly gas station boy or girl. And that's one of the amazing things about this. Right now we're stuck in a little bit of traffic. One of the reasons why I want to drive at night, give you these types of reviews at night, is because of the reduced traffic. But it seems like no matter what time you leave the house, it's always traffic. But it is what it is, I guess. Right now, just a quick check, we're now at 35%. We've been traveling about 4 kilometers now. So from 26%, we've risen up to 35%. Remember that, guys. Keep that in mind. Now, a couple of things about the charging infrastructure, charging system here. That it's got smart charging. Now, the BYD Seal 5 DMI uses the same BYD Blade battery underneath, albeit a bit smaller. But it does want you to still practice smart charging. So here, in this particular unit, it doesn't allow itself to charge up to 100%. You can actually set this up between 20 to 70%, and then it's going to utilize the battery and the hybrid motor to make sure that it wavers between that. Right now, I've set it up to keep it at a cap of 70%. So this thing will charge until it reaches 70%. It does that by multiple ways. It either uses the gasoline engine when you're accelerating, when you're full motion, and when you're stopping, uses the regenerative braking as well. There are 2 regenerative braking modes. You've got comfort and aggressive right here. I've set it to aggressive. There's no one pedal driving here, by the way, so you still have to utilize the brake pedal right there to make sure that you go to a full stop. But you will feel the engine like stop itself whenever you lift off the accelerator pedal. So that's still something that you should keep in mind, though. Remember, these cars, they try their best to emulate the same type of driving you do so for ICE engines. But of course, there are a couple of things under the hood and under the chassis that are certainly different than a regular car, than regular ICE car. So you got that. Keep that in mind. And this thing is really powerful. You can see all the cars going down the road. This is one of the cars that I know I've been driving that makes me feel like every other car on the road suddenly became ancient. I mean, we got that car right in front of us, and it feels, you got to feel for that because it doesn't have the same power, it doesn't have the same fuel efficiency or same technology as this one right here, and you just go allow them to go ahead of you because you know you can catch up to them. It's the feeling, like the feeling of riding a sports car, but it's not a sports car. It's an eco car. It's like an electric car. These things. Oh, motorcycle almost hit a shutter. Welcome to the Philippines, guys. Okay, another reason why I believe that the Seal 5 DMI might be a better buy compared to the the Dynamic might be a better buy compared to the Premium is the wheels. All right, let's talk about the wheels. As I've said outside, the wheels of the alloy wheels of the Dynamic variant is smaller. You got 16-inch alloy wheels here, while the top of the line Premium variant, it's got 17-inch alloy wheels. Now, you might think that it's just a couple of, just an inch different right there. I mean, yeah, this is an inch, no problems. But I'm not talking about the overall size of the wheel there, overall size of the alloy wheel. One thing about this, though, is that their tire size is also different, obviously. Not with the sidewall. It seems like the aspect ratio of the sidewall between the two cars is the same, but with the width of the track. So the 17-inch alloy wheels has 215 R17s. So it means it's got 215 millimeters of track for each of the wheels. This one has 225. So that's 10 millimeters thicker. The more, I've always said that if you're upgrading any part of your car, it's got to be better wheels. I mean, there's just the same brand of wheels. It's the same wheels anyway, but they're thicker. The more contact patch that you have for your car on the road, theoretically and actually, the better. Now, the BYD Seal 5 DMI, though, has so much power and torque that it can easily break traction. When I do some highway pulls, you can hear the tire losing traction just a little bit. Well, not just a little bit, a lot. So the 225s actually help you keep yourself planted on the road. I wonder how the 215 feels like. You could check out this video right here. My guy Kent did a quick walk around, quick review of the BYD Seal 5 Premium. But who's got your back, guys? This is the Dynamic variant, and I think you definitely consider this one over the top of the line one. Although the top of the line one has some features that this thing definitely does not have, as I've discussed in our earlier walk around of the interior and the exterior. When it comes to performance, yeah. So right now I'm about to overtake this truck right here. So we don't want to be behind a truck, and you'll hear. There we go. Keeping within safe speed limits. And that's one of the things about getting an electric car too. Something that can perform like this is that you can keep yourself away from these huge trucks, because overtaking them, it's definitely a safety hazard, safety concern, keeping yourself behind those trucks. So you want to make sure that you safely overtake them, and this one definitely does. All right, so going back to our review, what do I feel about the drive? It feels like a fast car. It feels like a fast sedan. Now, I've driven some performance-oriented sports sedans, more mainstream ones, and none of them actually hold a candle to the type of performance, this miles per gallon, and actual miles per gallon that you get from the BYD Seal 5 DMI. The fact that you can perform like this, you know, run through the road, make sure that you avoid a lot of, leave other people in the dust behind in this car, and know that you're doing great fuel economy. It's quite a sensation indeed. Speaking of fuel economy, all right, let's talk about fuel economy. In actual driving, especially for electric vehicles, you compute the kilowatt hour per 100 kilometer figure right there. So you figure how many kilometers per kilowatt hour this thing makes. Well, to give you guys an idea, this is a plug-in hybrid, sure. So I'm going to compute the fuel economy according to actual fuel used. So driving around this car for the past 200 kilometers or so, I was able to get, without even trying, without even being quite frugal though, I was able to get this, 25 kilometers per liter in mixed driving conditions. And I've mostly driven this in the city. So 25 kilometers per liter in the city, that's unfair. That is unfair for everyone involved. Remember when I told you driving a car like this is just makes you feel like the car that you're driving suddenly becomes ancient? Well, yeah, that's what I felt in this car. The BYD Seal 5 DMI, I don't often use the word game changer in my reviews, because I think that term has fallen into disrepute. Game changer, I mean, what does that even mean? But this one just mops the floor of that, whatever that game is. It just mops the floor with it. Doesn't just change it, it mops the floor with it. Pricing for the BYD Seal 5 DMI, this one, I can most certainly say that it starts with this, around 950,000 pesos. That's right, 950,000 pesos. And then if you want to get, of course, the premium variant, that's 1,198,000 pesos. So, what does that mean? It means you've got some decisions to make. You got to set your priorities straight. Do you really need a 360-degree camera? Do you really need the extra 50 kilometers or 65 kilometers worth of range? Do you need the extra 10 horsepower, 20 torques? I'd probably say leave that to you. But personally speaking, this car, the Dynamic variant, this is all the car I'd ever need and more. And the steering sensation, by the way, is really good. By the way, guys, I've almost forgotten to tell you that after 30 minutes of driving, 30 minutes about worth of driving, from 26%, I've now risen up to 45%. So do you need to charge your plug-in hybrid? Maybe at home. Maybe at home. Gotta say. All right. I hope you enjoyed this type of review. If you want to get a more detailed look at the BYD Seal 5 DMI, my guy Kent has a review, a quick look of it right here on the top. So the link's supposed to be there, and I'm also adding it on the description box below. So thanks so much for watching. It's been Roy Robles, ZigWheels.ph. See you guys next time.